Ever wonder why Porsche's logo looks so similar to Ferrari's? Both feature a prancing horse, but for totally different reasons. And that's just the start of the weird and wild world of Porsche facts we're about to dive into. Here's the deal. Porsche's prancing horse isn't about copying Ferrari. It's actually a nod to Stuttgart, the city where Porsche was born. Stuttgart's coat of arms features a horse, and Porsche thought, hey, why not slap that on our cars? Meanwhile, Ferrari's horse has a whole different backstory involving a World War I fighter pilot. Wild, right? But wait, there's more. We're about to hit you with some mind-blowing Porsche facts. From tractors to $1,700 leather air vents, Porsche's got some seriously weird stuff going on. So stick around, because things are about to get real interesting in Porsche land. You thought Porsche was all about sports cars? Think again. These German engineers have their fingers in more pies than you can shake a stick shift at. Let's start with something you definitely didn't see coming. Porsche Tractors. Yeah, you heard that right. From 1956 to 1963, Porsche wasn't just making cars that could tear up the Autobahn. They were also churning out tractors for farmers to putter around their fields. And we're not talking about a few here and there. Porsche made over 120,000 of these bad boys. Imagine pulling up to your local barn dance in a Porsche tractor. But wait, it gets weirder. You know that SUV your soccer mom neighbor drives? The Porsche Cayenne? Well, it turns out that chunky grocery getter saved Porsche's bacon. According to one source, without the Cayenne, Porsche would be bankrupt. So, next time you see one of those rolling down the street, remember, it's not just a car, it's a financial savior on wheels. Porsche's adventures in the non-car world don't stop there. Ever looked at a forklift and thought, man, that thing could use some German engineering? Well, Porsche's got you covered. They design award-winning forklifts, because why shouldn't moving pallets be as sleek and efficient as possible? But here's where things get really interesting. Porsche is working on something called e-fuel. It's not just any fuel, it's a biofuel that could keep internal combustion engines alive in our eco-conscious world. And get this, it has no CO2 emissions because it's made out of water and air, but it behaves exactly like gasoline for the engine. Water and air, people. Porsche is basically making fuel out of nothing. You think Porsche's weird ventures are impressive? Wait till you hear about their hidden gems. We're talking cars so rare you'd have a better chance of spotting Bigfoot driving a Ferrari. Let's start with the granddaddy of all Porsches, the Type 64. This bad boy is considered the company's first car. Born in 1939, it was built for a race from Berlin to Rome. But here's the kicker. The race never happened because World War II decided to crash the party. Only 3 of these beauties were ever made. That's right, just 3. You've got a better chance of winning the lottery while being struck by lightning than seeing one of these on the road. Now, let's fast forward to something a bit more modern but equally elusive, the Porsche 911 GT1. This isn't your run-of-the-mill 911. Only 21 road-legal versions of this beast were ever produced. And if that's not exclusive enough for you, get this. Only one of those 21 was a GT1 Evo. This unicorn could hit a top speed of 202 miles per hour. That's fast enough to outrun your responsibilities and your ex. But wait, there's more. Ever heard of the Giant Slayer? No, it's not a medieval fairy tale. It's the nickname for the Porsche 550 Spider. This little firecracker earned its title by beating much bigger and more powerful cars in races. Now you might be thinking, how? Well, it's all about that power-to-weight ratio, baby. Despite having a tiny 1.5-liter 4-cylinder engine pumping out a modest 110 horsepower and 80 pound-foot of torque, this lightweight champ could dance circles around the competition. It's like that scrappy kid in school who could somehow beat everyone in arm wrestling. Last, but definitely not least, let's talk about a car that's less about rarity and more about pure, unadulterated speed, the Porsche 919 Hybrid Evo. This isn't just fast, it's break the space-time continuum. As of 2018, it holds the all-time Nürburgring lap record at a mind-bending 5 minutes and 19 seconds. To put that in perspective, that's about how long it takes most of us to decide what to watch on Netflix. While we're scrolling through options, this Porsche is casually lapping one of the most challenging tracks in the world. You thought Porsche's hidden gems were wild? Wait till you hear about their quirky design choices. These Germans aren't just about speed and luxury. they've got some seriously odd ideas when it comes to car design. Let's start with something you've probably never noticed. No Porsche has ever had a grille. While other cars are out there showing off their fancy front grills like they're on a catwalk, Porsche's just like, nah, we're good. But it's not because they're trying to be different. It's all about that rear engine life. Since their engines are chilling in the back, they don't need a front grille. Instead, they use air vents that are all business, no frills. It's like Porsche decided to give the middle finger to unnecessary car bling. Now, let's talk about something that'll make you scratch your head: the ignition key. In most cars, you stick the key in on the right side of the steering wheel. But Porsche, they put it on the left. Why? Because racing, of course. This weird placement lets drivers start the car and shift gears at the same time, saving precious seconds on the track. It's like Porsche looked at regular key placement and said, "That's cute, but we've got places to be." But here's where things get really wild. You know those air vents in your car? The ones that blow hot or cold air in your face? Well, Porsche offers an option to make those out of leather. And not just any leather. We're talking about $1,700 worth of cowhide. That's right, for the price of a decent used car, you can have your air vents wrapped in leather. Because nothing says I've made it like blowing air through the skin of a very expensive cow. And just when you think Porsche can't get any more obsessive about details, here's a fun fact that'll blow your mind. The Porsche logo on the wheels always points down to the valve stem. Always. It's like they've got a team of tiny elves whose sole job is to make sure that horse is pointing at the right spot. Talk about attention to detail. Buckle up, because we're about to shift gears into Porsche's world of record-breaking achievements and eye-watering price tags. First up, let's talk about Porsche's racing pedigree. These guys aren't just Sunday drivers. They've racked up over 30,000 wins across all motorsports. To put that in perspective, if you started counting now, you'd finish sometime next week. And that's if you didn't take any bathroom breaks. But Porsche isn't content with just dominating the racetrack. They had to go and show off in the airport too. In 2017, a Porsche Cayenne S diesel decided to play tug-of-war with an Airbus A380. And won. This SUV towed a 285-ton aircraft, proving once and for all that Porsche doesn't understand the concept of overkill. Now, let's talk about money. You know how when you buy a car, it loses value the second you drive it off the lot? Porsche looked at that idea and said, nah, we're good. These guys make an average profit of $177,000 on each car they sell. For context, Toyota makes about $2,700 per car. It's like Porsche is playing Monopoly while everyone else is stuck with Candyland. But wait, it gets better. If you thought $177,000 was a lot, hold on to your wallet. Some Porsches have sold for prices that'll make your eyes water. Take the Porsche 917K, for example. This bad boy recently sold for a cool $14 million. That's not a car, that's a small island nation on wheels. So we've taken you on a wild ride through Porsche land, from prancing horses to fancy air vents. But the fun's not over yet. Let's recap some of the craziest facts we've learned about these German speed demons. Remember those Porsche Tractors? Yeah, that happened. And let's not forget the time a Cayenne played tug-of-war with a plane. Because why not? But Porsche isn't just about weird stunts and overpriced leather. These guys have won more races than you've had Hot Meals. Over 30,000 to be exact. And they're still pushing boundaries with that e-fuel made from water and air. It's like they're trying to turn cars into magicians or something. So, what's your favorite Porsche fact? Did we miss any good ones? Let us know in the comments. Who knows? Maybe Porsche will use your idea for their next $1 million air vent.